Chainsaw Man Part 2 is a strange experience. It has the style, the ambition, and the mystery you'd expect from Fujimoto, but somehow none of the narrative weight that made Part 1 unforgettable. I've waited years to talk about this, hoping that the story would come together, but with Part 2 now longer than Part 1 and still struggling to deliver even basic payoff, it's time to have the conversation. So today, let's break down why Chainsaw Man Part 2 feels so unfocused, what went wrong, and whether it can still be saved. So, there are a lot of reasons why I haven't been enjoying Part 2. Asa, a genuinely interesting protagonist, gets sidelined when she should be thriving. The supporting cast is forgettable. Important Part 1 characters are absent for no clear reason, and many plot threads feel completely directionless. But my biggest issue, the one that affects everything else, is the series' complete lack of narrative catharsis. Let's talk about setup and payoff. Comedy, storytelling, whatever, timing matters. A punchline hits because the setup builds tension, expectation, and momentum. Stories work the same way. If you want a satisfying narrative payoff, you need proper setup, and you need it to lead somewhere. Part 1 understood this perfectly. It's all centered around Makima's manipulation of Denji. We know she's hiding something, we know she isn't normal, we know that she has hidden motives, but it's only in the final stretch, those last 20 chapters, that we get real reveals. The setup pays off. Everything clicks. It's catharsis. Part 2, however, feels like buildup with no destination. Fujimoto knows how to set things up. We've seen that. But right now, the story refuses to give us any reward for our investment. Look at JJK for a moment. Gege left a mountain of unanswered questions before ending the manga, and that lack of closure is a big reason many fans look back on it with mixed feelings. The longer you delay payoff, the more impatient and frustrated readers become. Chainsaw Man Part 2 is sliding down that same slope. It inherits unresolved plotlines from Part 1, global devil politics, international assassinations, implications for the control devil, characters like Kishibe and Nayuta, all things that the story needs to eventually return to. Part 2 tried to tackle this by introducing Asa, who would lead the narrative until those elements circled back into relevance. And for a while, it worked. Asa was a strong lead, and her dynamic with Yoru and Denji had clear narrative potential. But things began to unravel during the Chainsaw Church arc. We got Quanxi back, only for her to do nothing and disappear. Then Nayuta dies, off-screen, which instantly kills one of the most important threads left from Part 1, and from there, it only goes further downhill. Denji, the lovable train wreck we were rooting for, becomes stagnant. Asa, who once held the story together, gets pushed aside. Their development stalls, their narrative setups aren't paying off, and hype alone can't carry a story forever, no matter how stylish Fujimoto's art is. Right now, Chainsaw Man doesn't have great characters. It only has mystery, and mystery without payoff becomes fatigue. The best possible thing Fujimoto could do is start resolving the threads he's already created. But at this point, I'm not sure it's even possible to wrap everything up in a satisfying way. There are simply too many loose ends, too many abandoned ideas, too many plot lines that needed resolutions 40 chapters ago. And even if Fujimoto did stick the landing, if somehow he ties everything together perfectly, it still wouldn't fix the past 70 chapters. It wouldn't retroactively make them good. I genuinely hope I'm wrong. I want Chainsaw Man to end strong. I just don't think that's likely anymore. And that's where Chainsaw Man Part 2 stands right now. A story full of setup with no catharsis, great ideas with no payoff, and characters who deserve better than stagnation. I genuinely hope Fujimoto can bring this narrative home, but as it stands, the cracks are impossible to ignore. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.